You guys will not believe what just happened to me right now. I I so I'm here. I was filming, I was doing my makeup and filming and talking. Just when I finished, when I was about to put on my lashes, of which I haven't even put on, I saw what the camera was not recording the whole time. I'm so defeated. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. If you're seeing me for the first time, it's not always like this. Yeah, my name is Amo and this is my channel. I've missed you guys so much. I know that I haven't been consistent the way that I would like to be. It's because of the baby. Honestly, Afia is taking so much of my time and I'm just not able to film as much as I would like to, and most of the time I'm at my mother's place, which is different from where I stay. So getting to a person's place and rearranging things because you want a place to film, a nice looking spot to film. So with my maternity leave about to end, I have been thinking that I should get a nanny because I don't have a nanny now, because I don't really need one. Okay, so when I had Sima, I was not working, I was not employed, so I was a stay-at-home mom. I stayed with her at home until she was 1 year, August, September, 1 year, 3 months. Until she was 1 year, 3 months, because I started working in September 2018. So from September 2018, I had to get a nanny. From then to November 2019. So from that period of time, I had five. We were five. I had 5 nannies in a space of about just over 12 months. It's 14. Sima? Yes? Why are you crying? I'm not crying. Oh. So in a space of 14 months, I had 5 nannies, and that is not good. So you're probably wondering, but so what are you here to tell us? So what are you here to? I am experienced. That gave me a very good experience. So right now I can speak in a place of privilege and say that this is what you must do, this is what you must not do with your nannies. So as I am giving you these tips, sharing my experiences with all 5 of them and what I learned from each nanny that I had. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to name them using the series Desperate. Is it Desperate? No, it's not Desperate Housewives. It's Maids, Devious Maids. I'm going to name them using Devious Maids. Starting with the first one that I got, I'm gonna name her Zoila, and she matches Zoila's character. So this one was the youngest out of all the girls that I had working for me. Zoila was the youngest. Now Zoila stayed with me the longest. She stayed from September up till March. So what happened with her is that when she got here, she was very shy, she was very reserved, and she was not free. Okay, so I made her comfortable by first making sure that, which is the first tip that I want to share with you guys, I wanted to know more about her. I got a lot of information I was always asking about her, and that is when she was new, and her family background. So I knew her siblings, all of her siblings by names. I knew her nieces and her nephews, and every time that she went home, she would come back and I would ask about unjani usibani and all that stuff, because I had shown interest in her. So she was like, and now again she met my sisters, and she was the same age as Unini, the girl who comes after me, my sister who comes up, and they gelled with her. She mixed with the family, and everybody liked her so much. Everything was perfectly fine with her. She left because her mother wanted her to go back to school, because like I said, she was very young. Her mom wanted her to go back to school, and I lost her when Zoila left, guys. I was not okay. I did not know how I was going to cope, because Sima loved her so much. Like, she had Simanya's second mother, basically. They were getting along very well. And even with me, we got along pretty well, Shame. She was the best, and she was teachable. That's another thing. She was very teachable. If you see that somebody, which brings me to the next one. The next one, we're gonna call her, what's the name of that girl? We're gonna call this one, okay, I forgot their names, but the feisty one, man, the Italian one, if you know this series that I'm talking about, I'm gonna call her Italy because I forgot her name. She was feisty. Yay, she was feisty. If I tell her, well, I'm going, but please do this today, and then I come back and there is something that she was also supposed to do that I didn't tell her on that day to do, she'll be like, but you did not tell me to do it. I'll be like, okay. And these people, I'm young, and they were mostly around my age. In fact, Italian was my age, was the same age as me. So there was no saying, Aibo, didn't I say do this? No, there was no bossing her. So which is the second lesson that I learned, and that I would like to also share with you, Uba. Teach them, but then if you teach a person, you tell them about what you like and what you do not like, and if they are teachable or they are educatable, that is to your advantage. But if you cannot educate a person, it's not something that you'll be able to change yourself. If she's gonna come, don't try to change them or anything, but do the best that you can to educate them or to teach them about the things that you expect to be done in your house, or how you want things to be handled around. If there's certain responsibilities that they're assigned to, of which you need to tabulate the responsibilities. That's another thing that we always fought about with Italian. But she would tell me, but when I came here, you did not tell me, but this was part of the job description. So be very clear about the job description. Italy, woo, that girl. Italy is the only nanny that I asked to leave, because she was not gonna leave by herself, and she was gonna stay, even though we were always like on each other's toes. I don't think she was voluntarily going to leave, and it was so hard for me to ask a person to go, even though I was never happy with her. So that is that each job description must be clear from onset, okay? But here, this is what you're going to do, and this is what you're not going to do, okay? And if there is something that is not in her job description that you would like them to do, ask, yabo, because people will show you flames. Which brings me to my third one. My third girl, she was also young, a year younger than me. She came, and she was the prettiest. I like her so much. I don't know whether I just liked her because she was very pretty. She was beautiful. She knew what her job was, and she knew what she needed to do with Simanye, because mostly their job description is with the baby. They're coming here to look after the baby. I'm not talking about house chores. So she knew what she needed to do, and she was very vocal. That's another thing I liked with her. And she taught me the third lesson, communicate with your help. Communicate. And every time, I almost said her name, every time, Preeti, I'm gonna call her Preeti because she was so pretty. Every time, Preeti, I asked her, I would talk about something, and every time we disagreed on something, she'll be very vocal, but she would not fight, but she would not just say, I am sorry, okay, it won't happen again. She would talk. If she folded clothes in a way that I did not like the clothes to be folded, she would ask me exactly how do you like the clothes to be folded. I'm making an example. I wouldn't fuss about how clothes are folded. So that's an example. So communication is very important. Talk about things like with your helper. Don't come with, and my God, pretty. When I come back from home, and she was very sweet, you guys. When I come back from school, she would ask me, and sometimes I would be just thrown off and not in the mood, because we all have those days. We all have those days now. And I'll be like, no, everything was fine. And she's like, but you don't look happy. And she always made me get into the mood. So be a person who's able to talk. Take them like they are your family. Take your help like she's your friend, or a person like your family. So that is the third lesson. I hope you guys are catching up. And then The fourth one, oh, why did she leave? Her boyfriend was going to Egoli. Her boyfriend was going to Johannesburg, and she wanted to go with her boyfriend. Who am I going to stand in the way of love? She left, and it was very unfortunate for me. I was very angry with her. She only worked for 1 month, and in the beginning of the next month, she was like, Sissy, I'm going tomorrow. The next, like, it was, guys, she didn't even give me time. She was like, I'm going. She said, I'm leaving today because tomorrow, like, okay, never mind. I had to call Nini to come back from school and babysit. And what I learned with my fourth nanny is, who was older than all of them, she had her own kids. When she came here, she had already had 2 kids, and we differed so much in fact, we always disagreed on the discipline measures, on how to discipline a child. Guys, that is one thing that you need to set your principles. Okay, if I know that Mdu will say that I'm also a mother and this is how I handle my children, be very strict and be very do not compromise your own principles and your own rules, like your own principles of how to bring up your children, just for the sake of keeping good relations. As for that, you have to stick to your principles. Whether a person already has 5 children or has better experience than you, as you are the mother of the child and you know how you want your child to be brought up. So that is what I always disagreed on with my fourth nanny. She came with her own ways of how children should be disciplined, and I was completely against. I was not aligned with it. I'm not gonna go into details of what she would do, and she scared me so much because I was like, if this is what you do when I'm around, what do you do when I'm not here? Like when I'm at work, how do you like, I'm not gonna tolerate it. Go. And then with my last nanny, Gengogo, the 5th one, I had to let her go because she had just completed her matric. So it's not like she just did not want to go to school or this is what she wanted for her life, but she said because of finances she cannot go back to school. And I told her that, listen, you're gonna work from this month that you're starting up to December. January, you're going back to school. So I helped her to apply and to get, because there's NSFAS right now, and education, tertiary education is free in South Africa. It's free with NSFAS. That's what I'm saying. If you don't get a bursary. Uyolo was a very quiet girl. She was so sweet. She still is. I had to learn manners, if you know what I mean, because she's so respectful, and she was just down to earth. She was not a person that I could just shout at. Not that I shout at people. No, I'm not that person. But with her, I really had to learn a certain way of talking. And my nannies are especially just for looking after children, okay? I would come home, Uyolo has washed blankets, she has cleaned, and I'm like, what are you doing? So she was just that person. She always wanted to do more. She always wanted to learn more. She wanted to, she was just the best, okay? She was just the best. So I hope you learned something from these. You need to understand, guys, that these people come into our spaces because they're looking for jobs, but they are people that we keep in our homes, and you have to be comfortable with them. If you're against having nannies, it's fine. That's your own preference, but now I will never send a small baby to daycare. Shame. I want a stay-in helper that my baby will be comfortable and see every day when she wakes and when she goes to sleep. Yeah, but and if you're against that, it's fine. So yeah, new moms or old moms or whatever, if you keep losing nannies, maybe there's something you're not doing good, says. Yeah, and stop being bossy. Better not stop being bossy. I know that you are a boss, you pay this person money, but it's not going to work for you if you're going to treat them like they are slaves, or you're going to treat them like they are workers. Take them as part of the family and enjoy, build relationships with them. So before Afia starts crying again, because I'm now holding her so that's why I'm sitting still. She's here on my hands. Let me show you guys now. Okay. but she's frustrated. I'm not gonna show her face. I'm gonna see you guys on the next video. Bye for now.